Imagine sitting down for a meal and being offered a plate of crickets or a stew made from mice. While this might sound strange to many, bugs and small animals like mice have historically served as opportunistic food sources in times of need. They play a critical role in survival situations and have cultural significance in some parts of the world. But have you ever wondered why they haven't become staples in our global food systems? Despite their practicality in certain contexts, these creatures remain niche foods for reasons tied to taste, culture, and scalability. Let's dive into why bugs and mice haven't joined the ranks of mainstream farmed animals, and why they're better suited as opportunistic foods. Throughout history, people have turned to bugs and small animals during times of scarcity. For survivalists, insects like crickets, grasshoppers, and mealworms are rich in protein and easy to gather in the wild, while small animals like mice or rats provide essential nutrients. Bugs and mice excel in survival scenarios because they reproduce quickly, require minimal effort to catch, and offer crucial nutrition when traditional food sources are unavailable. Their availability in the wild makes them ideal for emergency use, but these characteristics also highlight why they work better as improvised food sources, rather than animals farmed on a large scale. While bugs have been part of diets in regions like Southeast Asia and Africa for centuries, they've never gained traction as a staple food globally. One of the biggest reasons is that most people simply don't want to eat them. The taste and texture of bugs, often described as crunchy or squishy, can be unappealing to many. Even when processed into powders or bars, their flavor struggles to win over mainstream consumers. Cultural resistance further complicates matters. In many societies, bugs are associated with dirt and pests rather than nourishment. Changing this perception would require significant effort, and the current demand for bugs as food is too low to justify large-scale farming. Consumers tend to favor familiar, versatile sources of protein like eggs, dairy, and meat over the unfamiliar territory of insects. Mice might seem like a logical candidate for farming. They reproduce quickly, are small, and can adapt to different environments. However, they remain opportunistic food sources rather than farmed staples for good reason. First, farming mice at scale poses significant health risks, as they are known carriers of diseases. Ensuring safe and disease-free conditions for farming would require expensive infrastructure and meticulous management, driving up costs. Second, ethical concerns arise when considering the large-scale farming of mice. While they're often viewed as pests, many people also see them as companion animals, making their farming controversial. Lastly, consumer preference plays a major role. Cultural norms largely dictate what animals are considered acceptable for food, and mice don't fit the bill for most societies. Bugs and mice have found their place in traditional cultures and local cuisines around the world, but they are rarely viewed as staples. In regions like Thailand and Mexico, insects are often sold as street food, fried and seasoned to create flavorful snacks. In rural areas of some countries, small animals like rats or guinea pigs are part of the local food system, providing nutrition when other protein sources are scarce. However, these practices are rooted in local customs and are often limited to specific occasions or regions. Scaling these foods up for industrial farming would face cultural and logistical barriers. One of the biggest challenges in farming bugs or mice is scalability. Bugs require controlled environments with warm temperatures and humidity, making large-scale farming energy-intensive. This undermines the environmental benefits often touted by proponents of bug farming. Mice, on the other hand, present logistical and ethical hurdles, from disease management to consumer resistance. In comparison, traditional livestock like cows, chickens, and pigs scale far more effectively. These animals produce greater yields of meat, milk, and eggs, and their byproducts are useful across industries. Livestock farming has been refined over thousands of years to maximize efficiency, making it a far more viable option than farming bugs or mice. Ultimately, bugs and small animals like mice are better suited as opportunistic foods rather than farmed staples. They serve valuable roles in survival situations and traditional cultures, but face significant challenges when it comes to large-scale farming. Their niche status is shaped by a combination of cultural preferences, health concerns, and logistical difficulties. Bugs and mice are valuable in specific contexts, whether as emergency protein sources or local delicacies, but they aren't likely to replace traditional livestock in our food systems anytime soon. While they might provide an adventurous addition to some menus, their practicality as mainstream foods remains limited.